Is this thing on? Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, and welcome back to Xperienced TV. That was really loud at the beginning. I do apologize for that. So, a few things have changed. Let me bring you up to speed since that last little thing. Life's been a bit messy for a while, and more recently, I've ended up leaving my job after some cutbacks at work. I can't really go into the details. But the short version's this. It's time for a change. And instead of sitting around feeling sorry for myself, I thought I'd try to do something useful with that change. For a while now, I've wanted to get deeper into cybersecurity, things like ethical hacking, electronics projects, and generally making more weird and interesting things like maker videos and stuff like that. So it feels like the right time to actually do it now. And instead of waiting until I know exactly what I'm doing, I thought I would just document the journey properly, right from the beginning. And for those who don't know, my background is mostly in software development, especially web development. So while I was working, I was also studying an MSc through an apprenticeship. Honestly, that was a real struggle. So trying to juggle work, life, studying, and everything at once. Managed to come out of it with a commendation in the MSc, and I got a distinction in the apprenticeship EPA, which I am really proud of. Problem is, since finishing it, I haven't really had many chances to properly apply some of the things I've learned. So especially in the areas that I found most interesting. So things like cybersecurity. We did a module in cybersecurity during the MSc, and I found that absolutely fascinating. So they were doing things like penetration testing, DDoS concepts, network security, ethical hacking tools. So they had labs and all of that sort of stuff. I felt like opening a new door to a whole side of technology I hadn't done before. I'd only glimpsed in movies like Hackers and things like that and Mr. Robot. The annoying part only lasted a couple of weeks. And so just as it was really getting interesting, that was it. Now, being between jobs, I've got a little bit more time to actually explore it properly. So I thought, why not? Why not follow that curiosity and see where it leads? At the same time, as you know, I've always loved tinkering. Back in high school, one of my favorite subjects was electronics. I loved learning about components, building circuits, making PCBs, soldering, all that kind of thing. As I got older, that turned into messing around with gadgets, making little devices, fixing bits of hardware, building things connected to my other geeky hobbies. You've probably seen the C64 videos and other teardowns and things on this channel as well. So for me, cybersecurity and electronics don't feel like two separate things. They both come from the same place: curiosity, problem solving, and a want to understand how things work, and sometimes wanting to take them apart. Just to see if I can put them back together again. Sometimes that fails miserably. So the reason I want to do this on YouTube and publicly is pretty simple. I've always found that one of the best ways to really learn something is to try to explain it to someone else. I can't remember who first told me that, but I find it rings true. It's easy to think you understand something in your own head, but the moment you have to talk it through properly, you find out very quickly what makes sense, what doesn't, and where the gaps in your knowledge still are. So for me, documenting the process isn't just about making videos, it's part of the learning. It forces me to structure what I'm doing and reflect on it, and hopefully make it useful for other people as well. Yes, some of this, most of this, will probably be a bit messy. I'm more than likely going to get things wrong regularly and disappear down the wrong rabbit hole every now and again. But honestly, that's part of the point. So what can you expect from this channel? So a mixture of cybersecurity learning, ethical hacking basics, electronics builds, open source hardware projects, and probably a few fun side quests along the way. So connected to some of my other geeky hobbies. I've already got some ideas for things like some interactive D&D props that I want to build, some puzzle games, little custom devices, maybe some kind of wireless or tracking projects to do with ethical hacking, and maybe even some software to go with them too. So, because that's one of the things I do. So this channel probably going to become a mix of learning, building, experimenting, and occasionally seeing what survives contact with reality. Now, just to be clear, because this does matter to me, when I talk about cybersecurity and ethical hacking, I mean learning how systems work, how they can be attacked, and how that knowledge can help protect things better. I'm not interested in doing anything dodgy here. I'm not going to apply that. If I don't have permission to do something, I'm not going to do it. Anything practical will be done inside my own lab here in the man cave on my own systems, or with clear written permission. So that's important. For me, the value in learning this stuff is understanding risks, understanding weaknesses, and understanding how to defend against them. That's the lane I want to stay in. Okay? Looking at me on the side of a pole. So why follow along? Maybe because you're curious too. Maybe you want to learn some of this stuff alongside me. Maybe you like electronics, gadgets, weird hobby projects, or the idea of watching someone build something from the ground up without pretending they've already got it figured out. Maybe you want to see it blow up in their face. Who knows? Maybe you just want to question me, correct me, challenge me, or add your own ideas. Who knows? Maybe this turns into something bigger over time. Maybe it helps me grow in a new direction. Maybe it helps other people learn something useful. Either way, I think it's going to be interesting. So that's where I'm at. Things have changed. I'm trying to use that as a chance to move forward instead of standing still. I want to learn more about cybersecurity. I want to build more things, and I want to share that process as honestly as I can. So if it sounds something you'd like to follow, then stick around, subscribe, like, share, comment, get the algorithm to put me up. Next up, probably be doing something like setting up a home cybersecurity lab and figuring out how to do this. Got to do it in a way that's safe, sensible, and actually useful, though. That's the main thing. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you liked it, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later. Bye-bye. God, it's so hard when you're recording to look into that camera and not at my face. Oh, look at those grey hairs coming in. There's a bald spot at the back there as well. Crikey.